Hello and welcome to the first episode of my Marvel podcast. My name is Ethan and today we'll be discussing Tom Holland and his upcoming fourth Spider-Man movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. See, Spider-Man is my favorite fictional character of all time, so this movie is very important to me and I have a lot of things that I want to get from it because the last movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, was a monument, but it was far from what I want to see from this next film. Not because it was bad, just different. See, Spider-Man No Way Home was a big multiversal adventure, which was Tom Holland's sixth appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with his first one being Captain America Civil War, which released in 2016. It is his third solo Spider-Man movie, and it had him fighting previous villains and teaming up with previous Spider-Men from previous franchises via the multiverse. It was a large-scale, large-stakes adventure, and it was a really fantastic movie that broke financial records for Sony and Marvel, and really it was one of the most talked about movies of all time. And the ending of that movie really set up Spider-Man to have a more grounded story where he would just be your classic friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, something we haven't really seen from Tom Holland in the MCU very much, as he's teamed up with the Avengers, Iron Man, and has had access to million-dollar technologies, something that Spider-Man isn't usually have access to. He doesn't usually have access to. So, in the upcoming film, I wanted to see Peter Parker be left on his own, have to figure things out by himself, because at the end of the last movie he really has nobody, and I wanted to stay that way because the best Spider-Man stories come from when the boy is really struggling and he just has to keep putting on that mask, being that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, even when it is the hardest thing for him to do. As was said in my favorite live-action Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, sometimes a hero needs to give up the thing he wants the most, even their dreams, to be a hero. So that's what I want to see from Spider-Man in the next movie, and I want him to just, be broken, be beaten down. And originally I thought, because he doesn't have love interest anymore, it would be a great time to bring in the character from the comics, Black Cat, who has a more lust focused love with Spider-Man rather than a loved focused love. So he would have to deal with being with Black Cat and the conflicts that can ensue with that, because she is also kind of a bad influence, and also she's a burglar herself, a cat burglar. I also wanted to see characters like Daredevil show up, as it is a grounded story, and he's one of the most famous grounded New York heroes that just fights crime on the streets of New York. He's not saving the world from aliens. And the both Daredevil and Spider-Man villain Kingpin, to essentially be the main villain of this, as the new Daredevil series is setting him up to be the mayor of New York City, which will cause lots of problems for both Daredevil and Spider-Man. I also think that it would be a great time for him to get the symbiote, the Black Venom symbiote, but I can understand if they want to save that for a later time, especially in the upcoming Avengers movies, because that would align with the comics and when that story comes into play in there. But, unfortunately, Sony has other plans, and they just want to make this another cash-grabby multiverse movie again, because their recent couple of Sony movies have failed, such as Madam Web and Morbius. So they are fighting with Marvel Studios, who want to make this street-level film, or at least I hope they are, but they're trying to make this street-level film, but Sony is fighting against them to include the multiverse and just bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man again. And while I do want to see them return someday, this is not the time and place for that. It would just ruin Tom Holland's story, which has so much potential right now. And previously, I wasn't even the biggest fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but now I couldn't be more excited. And I just can't wait to see what they do and where they go with this, as long as Sony doesn't mess it up. But rumors have said that Sony and Marvel have been working together, and they've come to a compromise that will have the movie focus mainly on street-level stories and the classic Spider-Man tale with only aspects of multiverse storytelling. I do want to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man deal with the multiverse again. He is going to, because we're in the multiverse saga of the MCU, and he will have to come face to face with that in the next Avengers movies. But I don't want them to do that again in another Spider-Man solo movie, because we should just have classic Spider-Man stories. We have the beginning of a new trilogy, and we should focus on that. So thank you for listening to me talk today, and tune in for the next episode if you just want to hear more about some Marvel news. Anyways, this is Ethan signing out.